Have you experienced broken relationships, the pain of a broken heart time after time? Nobody understands you? Looking for love in all the wrong places? Find your answer in this new book, Wedding Preparation for Eternity, A Woman's Search for True Love by Karen Massoud. Here's an excerpt from the book.
As he grew more and more interested in me, he bought me designer clothes and was even willing to talk about God and sometimes about Jesus freely. As a newly single American woman with small-town innocence, I was completely unaware of the ride I was about to go on with this Palestinian from Tel Aviv. He rarely ever talked about his family back home. He had no real friends in the U.S. except a middle-aged, wealthy American couple he knew in Tysons Corner, Maryland. The husband owned a Toyota dealership. I mentioned wanting to get a car, and he took me to meet this friend who cut me a deal on a bright yellow Toyota. The color reminded me of my first car that my brother had taken out for a test drive and totaled. It had been the same color, and I relished this new car with this sweet deal. Today, I realized that he used this car as bait to lure me into a relationship. Within a few months, we had spent a lot of time together, and it was intense. Of course, I loved the attention, and especially loved the finest taste of New York City as he wined and dined me at the finest restaurants and clubs and bought me the finest clothes and jewelry. We talked about marriage and children, God, fashion, and a lot of things that kept my interest. As a usual pastime, we would go to Macy's at Madison Square Garden to shop for new designer clothes. He almost always bought me something, so I was excited to go shopping with him. One day, we moseyed into the men's leather coat department. I began looking around for something I thought would look good on him. He was away from me, and when I turned around to find him, I spotted him stuffing a leather jacket inside of the leather jacket he was wearing. I caught him red-handed stealing. I shrieked, "What are you doing? Are you crazy or something?" He looked at me with a look that scared me, a look I had never seen on him before. His eyes were wide and evil-looking, and his face and mouth fierce with anger. I would classify it as demonic. He blurted out, "This country owes me." This was my first encounter with Islam. Their hot tempers are disguised by sweet, luring voices. Their aim to please is the trap to get women where they want them. I wish that was the end of it, but I learned the hard way that many Muslims are relentless in their pursuit of what they want. One day, I went shopping in one of my usual places in Brooklyn. When I returned to my car, I found him in the driver's seat. He must have duplicated my keys secretly. Without thinking, I opened the passenger side, which was nearest me, and got in to confront him. As I did, he took off, driving the car forward with me half in and half out. I screamed at the top of my lungs for help. Just as I did, a police car with its loud siren roared across the next intersection. I was screaming, "He's stealing my car!" while still half in and half out.
Find out what happens. Order your copy today at aishamydaughter.org. That's AISHAMYDAUGHTER.org.